is specifically for Jane. I would like to explore your story and how you could go from being incarcerated to starting your own business. Can you give the audience a short overview of your pathway and what compelled you to become an entrepreneur?
For me, it always starts with change. I think Pauline said it best. She did it to save herself when she was incarcerated. So did I. Sitting in a cell, not knowing when you're going to come home, not knowing even if you're going to make it home, because you got to deal with so many different things inside of prison. Not only the lack of family support and things on the outside, but the whole macho-ness of being in prison and trying to be something that you're really not, acting harder than you really are because you don't want the other inmates to sniff you out and start robbing you and taking your canteen. So, for me, my journey started by getting shot. I got shot by the police when I was 19, 18, and I got shot twice, and I got shot with one gun by two different officers. Now, this is before the whole movement of everything. And I think back now, and I'm like, wow, this happened to me, but, this was so many years ago. But I lived, and I ended up being on life support for 2 months, ended up getting sentenced to 20 years. I had just graduated from high school, Duke Ellington School of Arts, visual arts. And I thought that I was going to college, but I ended up going to the penitentiary. So when I came out a few years later, I made a decision to not go back down that route or that road. And it was hard because when you come from the hood, that's where you go back to. So it's hard for you to kind of separate yourself from that. And you got the guys standing outside the liquor store, the same guys that are in front of the same liquor store that they were in front of when you went in. Come on, 5 years later, it's still in the same position. I didn't want that for myself. So I started, I got a job, I started working, I started, dealing with the obstacles of filling out an application, and that dreaded section comes up. Are you a felon? And I was honest about it and got denied so many times. And I got an opportunity one day, and I got an opportunity to get into safety with the Navy, of all people. And I moved from there, and I became one of the top safety professionals in the East Coast region. And I started a high sauce company last year because I started farming as a sort of a way to deal with stressfully. So that's my story in a little nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but it's just something I had to do for myself.